Hello everyone, how are you? Today is November 16th, and I've been getting quite a few requests to show my own gameplay, do like a self-VoD review, and I've already shown some Sombra gameplay before, but that was more like an advertisement almost, like, oh, look at all the awesome stuff you can do with Sombra. This is going to be more of a traditional VoD review. I'm just going to go over and say what I could have done better. But before we start, I want to give a shout out to the Omnic Lab podcast. I just went on their show the other day, and it just came out today, in fact. So it's about a 40-minute segment or so of me talking about mostly Anna. So if you really enjoyed the Anna guide, go ahead and check that out. I talked more about her and about the hero in general. Plus, we talked about some other stuff too that probably a lot of you would be interested in. So it was definitely cool. Definitely, and it's a cool podcast in general. So you go check them out. Again, link in the description. This is my first chance at finally playing Sombra in a real game, a game that actually has people trying to win and all that good stuff, because in the PTR, obviously the games were subpar, quick play doesn't quite do it, so I'm doing it. I'm bringing Sombra into ranked, and all the grievances and awful things that comes with, just for you guys. I played a couple matches, and in both of them there was just this war going on the entire match about whether I was good or I was bad or I was useless and I should swap, and oh my god, another Sombra picker. So it was fun, as you might imagine. But anyway, my skill rating might have decayed, but my MMR is still around the 3700-ish area, meaning these are pretty much all masters in these games. So we're going to start here on defense on Volskaya Industries, and I like to open up by hacking a relatively important health pack, and this one is definitely pretty useful for the other team. The issue, though, is that this means your hack is on cooldown, so you can't hack the Reinhardt if they do a fast push like this. So you see, it would have been a really good time to hack the Reinhardt, but it was on cooldown. That's something I didn't think of at the time, but now I'm more careful, and I make sure that it is on cooldown, or off cooldown rather, when I actually go in for the Reinhardt. So you see, I hacked this other health pack, which is really not necessary. I think I could have saved the cooldown here, because here again, I could have hacked the Reinhardt again. But just this general idea of harassing the back is very good, because now they couldn't push forward, obviously. We got the health pack again, and we're ready to reset and do another little foray here. So unfortunately, their team has pushed up quite a bit. They're onto the point already, and I took damage and I was forced to back off. That was an issue with, if we look again, so here I see the McCree and he sees me, but I ignore that and I come over here anyway. I should have known he was there and that he was shooting me, or he would want to shoot me rather, and he does indeed shoot me, forcing me to back off. And this is huge because this takes me out of the fight for a pretty good chunk of time. So right now they're obviously capping, and this is all time that I could have remained in the fight that I wasn't. So now we're on the point again, and my team is mostly not doing so well. I wind up getting the big health pack, which is pretty fortunate, and here most of the team is dead. There's really not too much. So I was struggling a little bit with the awareness here to see exactly which of my teammates were alive, because I wasn't paying enough attention. So I should know that all we have left is a baby diva, because I saw her, and a Zarya. That's not going to be enough to cap this point, even with my ultimate. So all I should have done is harass a little bit, try to cap the point as long as possible, contest it, and not use my ultimate here. Using this ultimate might have cost us the match, because I do wind up losing this first match that I played her in. So that was definitely not a very good start for me. And then as we come up, I harass a little bit and wind up dying. And this is a bad death. I should have died a lot earlier. I intended to die, like I went in there with the intention of dying, but it was a little bit too late. Granted, my team should not have been pushed in so quickly. That was a little bit ridiculous, but even if they had kind of achieved up to expectations, it still would have been a couple seconds too late on the respawn. So I should have died a little bit earlier there. So you can see Sombra is a very, very finicky hero. Her concept is really not that tough, but just very small mistakes. Like you saw, I made 3 relatively minor, kind of innocuous mistakes there, and they really wound up hurting a ton. So you can see I get the hack off again, and I throw my translocator. This time I wait a little bit, though. I think I learned. I wait a little bit for the cooldown. I come behind, and I try to get a hack off on someone, but at this point, they're just too far up. They did a fast push, which is really what they should have been doing anyway. I wind up getting the Reinhardt, which is pretty good, but the Zenyatta does kill me, and this is because you can see my translocator is coming down. I kill the Reinhardt, and I should just hit it. Remember what I said in my last Sombra video, you kill someone, you do something, hit the translocator, because without it, you are dead meat, even against a Zenyatta. So this Zenyatta should have killed me, because a Zenyatta with good aim and this at that range should kill a Sombra with no abilities. And you can see that in general, I was just a little bit too late to the party both times on this first point, meaning I really don't actually like hacking the health pack in these short spawn type of maps, like these 2 CP maps. And because every time I do it, I found that I'm a little bit too late to the party, like you saw in both of these past 2 defenses. So unfortunately, I wound up going down with a couple other members of my team, and which means we have to respawn. We can't get there in time, and we get rolled. So that is match 1 lost for Sombra. So we have been showing some defense. Now I'm going to show offense. This is on Eichenwalde. This is the next match I played. And here, just kind of a wonky translocator. I wasn't really sure how to open this map up. But anyway, now we go in. We actually got a pick. Our soldier got a very nice pick. But I take kind of a strange angle here, which means I don't get too much out of it. If you look again how I approach, so you can see that their Reinhardt is here. And they also have other teammates here. We know this. Now, going this way would have been pretty decent. Going this way would have been pretty decent. Going straight into the Reinhardt through the shield was probably the worst place I could have possibly gone. So I realized I was a little bit too courageous with the invisibility there. The invisibility, pretend as though you're not actually invisible. That's how I like to use it. As in, don't rely on it. Rely on the movement speed, and then the invis is just a nice bonus thing. So unfortunately, most of my team is dead at this point. There isn't too much I can do except for farm a little bit of ultimate, harass them a little bit, but other than that, that's pretty much it. And I wind up, fortunately, just barely getting out. But if I gotten out a little bit earlier, I wouldn't have had to feed that 200 health, because 200, remember, feeding ult after the change is definitely worse than before. I do get a hack on the Reinhardt here, which is really, really great for the team. I feed the Zarya ult a little bit, which is unfortunate, but overall, not too bad. Unfortunately, the team is not really able to capitalize on it, so we're going to have to try again. And we do try again, but this one also flubs because I go straight into the Roadhog again, kind of a bad choice. Plus I come up here and fight with their Sombra, which is also sort of a bad choice. So that was a good 20 seconds completely wasted from me that I didn't do too much. Here we get Zarya ulted, womboed, just ulted by everybody, which is great because now our team has a ton of ultimates, so this is a good chance for me to use mine and finally take the point. So now it's pretty much all on me. Now, of course, before we ever do any ultimate, we need to take a little bit of an inventory of where our team is, who's alive, and all that good stuff. And right now, our team is approaching pretty much in position, but still not quite there, of course. Our Reinhardt doesn't have a shield up, which is a little bit interesting. But I run up, and we're going to ult. Now, this is about 1 or 2 seconds too early, because I found that just throughout my matches, I was ulting just a couple seconds too early. You should wait for your team to just start to push up a little bit, because right now my team was still sitting back at the gate. I can't see them at this point, but I can assume that they're still sort of sitting there. Also, you ult, always translocator out, because now you're a giant target, and everyone, including Roadhog, wants to kill you. The team can't really capitalize on it because I said they're a little bit too far back. I ulted a little bit too early. So at this point, I was feeling quite bad because I knew that I had thrown big time, but it's okay. We can try again. We still have 1:45, which is good. 2 or 3 pushes remaining. We come around here, and this is completely the Hanzo's fault for not taking the health pack. But it's okay. We get a nice Zarya ult off. I pick off the Hanzo. Zarya gets 2 picks with her ultimate, and we wind up rolling over it. If the Hanzo had taken the health pack, he would have probably lived a little bit more, but he definitely would have been taken out of the fight, of course, because he would have been at very low health. So now we'll just take a look at one more round. This is the defense on Eichenwalde. And here again, I open up by hacking the health pack. This is something I did in every game on defense. Of course, it is definitely spawn, the decision is spawn heavy. So on Eichenwalde here, this is relatively longer. Plus, it's a more difficult approach than on Eichenwalde. So I think it's much easier to get away with hacking the health pack early on. You don't need to worry about that 12-second downtime. And it winds up not being an issue in this game like it was in both of the Volskaya games I just showed. So we do this little foray out, a little bit of harassment, which doesn't unfortunately get us too much, except for some good ult. Now, that health pack that I just took should have been hacked. The reason for that is because hacked health packs give you ultimate charge. Obviously, Sombra's ultimate is very potent and it's very good to charge it up fast. So if you hack the health pack that you keep coming back to, you wind up getting free ultimate charge. So I just lost out on 75 health worth of ult charge essentially and healing. But you can see how that good chunk of damage and disruption I did let our team get a nice push off, which was definitely very effective. And you can see that I hacked this health pack again instead of the one that I was talking about earlier. So I definitely think you should always hack your like home base health pack to make sure you get that ultimate charge. So now my abilities are coming back off of cooldown, and we're going to do another little foray here. And so they have a Zenyatta. Zenyatta is a great target for Sombra because he has a round sort of body, if we look at him again. So Sombra's spread is obviously circular, and Zenyatta makes a nice circle, kind of like Torbjorn. So those are both very strong targets, in particular for Sombra to shoot at. They're not these rectangles like most other heroes are. So easily pick off the Zenyatta. Zenyatta is so easy to pick off in comps. I love seeing Zenyatas when I am Sombra. So I wind up teleporting out again. Didn't hack the health pack. I hack it now, or I guess not. Hack the health pack. So we come back, and I hack this big health pack instead, which is okay, but I guess, it's whatever. I'm forced to teleport out, so that wasn't a very productive outing. Now, this one should be a lot better. Their Zenyatta is up again, so I'm going to probably be looking to attack him, and I do probably take him out, and yes, I do there. They also have a McCree that I hopefully take out as well, and I do, so that's quite good. That was very effective, and that's the sort of stuff you should be doing, going on in the background, and Sombra can take out heroes. Now, my aim is probably better than most people. It's definitely not pro aim, but a lot of people will have trouble getting these confirmed kills on Sombra, so it's a huge part of her. You need to have good enough aim to be able to take people out, because if you're whiffing on most of these outings here, you're going to be a lot less effective. So we're going to attack the Zenyatta again. Unfortunately, he gets a lot of help really quickly. Finally, I wound up hacking that health pack, but now I already have my ult, so it's not really too big of a deal. We do another little outing here. Get a lot of damage on the McCree, don't wind up killing him. Notice that, the reason why I teleport out there immediately, notice the moment he turns around, I haven't taken any damage yet, but that's a flashbang, and flashbang will kill me. And remember, the shooter has a good 50 to 100 milliseconds of advantage over you. So if he throws a flashbang, I see it, and I teleport out, I need to have like 100 milliseconds of additional reaction time. So you don't want to react to the flashbang, you want to predict it. So here I do teleport out, and he did try to flashbang me as well. And they only have 1 minute and 45 seconds left, kind of stalled here. And that's sort of what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to stall out. Pick off the McCree, there we go. There's another 15 seconds that they're out of the fight. And every time you get one of those picks, it's huge. It's much different than Tracer. So the difference with Tracer and Sombra, Tracer is much more of a fighting type of hero. She wants these long, extended, crazy fights to happen. Sombra just wants to get in, have a big fight, or get one pick off, and then get out. So that's the big difference. When you're on these sort of team fight heavy compositions, and you want to just get in, do a little bit harass, get out, that is what Sombra's for. Tracer is much better on things like King of the Hill, where you have these very long, drawn-out, crazy engagements that last a very long time. Like, Tracer would not be able to do this at all. And so you see, they're running out of time. I know this, and I didn't have a translocator out beforehand, which was a terrible, terrible mistake. It's going to wind up getting me killed here. If I had a translocator, I could have just translocated out. Unfortunately, that's hacked. And this is a little bit of a micro thing, but you can see, all right, I can kind of hear his footsteps a little bit. I know kind of where the Roadhog is. I know that I'm not going to make it to this doorway before he peeks around. I only have 5 health, so all he has to do is hit me with anything and I die. Ideally, he would left click, which wouldn't matter. But when I get to about here, I know I can't make it. I know that when I get here, he's going to shoot me. So I really should just back, like double back for a second to fake him out. And that would have actually made me live because he wound up hooking. I would have dodged the hook. And that's just something that I definitely should have done. I knew he would have aimed for the doorway because that's where I was going. I should have faked out and backpedaled a little bit to avoid that. But they only have 20 seconds or so. I would say that ultimate I did was fairly effective to stop their push. And my team's doing quite well at holding them while I'm gone. Now their Sombra comes in, does an ultimate of her own, but it has the same issue that my ultimate had, where it was just a little bit early, just a tad early. So you can see I do a tremendous amount of damage to the Roadhog because he's such a giant body, and he also had Discord on him. I teleported out before he could get a hook off on me. And that's the round, so the other team ran out of time. So as you can see, Sombra can be very, very strong when you play her correctly, but she's very finicky. Very small, tiny details are very important for her to be successful. She's a very detail-oriented hero, which means you need to practice her a lot in order to get down that consistency. And that's the key thing with her is consistency. Every single one of those little teleport translocator forays I did out into the enemy lines or whatever, those all have to be very consistent, very good. I can't ever die, and they have to be consistently somewhat productive. So Sombra's definitely not about making one big play. So if you are more of a carry player, like maybe a McCree player, who you just have these hot streaks where you can go off and get massive headshots, but in some games you're not that good. I know a lot of players that are like that. Sombra is definitely going to be difficult to pick up because Sombra needs absolute consistency and attention to detail, but the advantage of that is you don't need to be necessarily the hottest all the time. As long as you're just pretty good all the time, that's a lot better than being very good sometimes when it comes to this hero. So as always, like if you liked it, which I genuinely hope you did. Leave any questions, comments, and all that stuff down below, and stay positive and have a great day. Peace out, guys.